Grand Rising Elizabeths. I am so glad to be here this morning with you, beautiful Elizabeth. And I want to say that it is my pleasure to introduce my co host, Deitra Covington. Deitra is passionate, and she's a passionate leader who believes lasting transformation begins in the mind. She has a gift for healing people, for helping people, recognize limited beliefs, embrace new possibilities, and step confidently into their purpose. So, as we discuss Control Alt Delete for your mind, the ultimate subconscious reset, Deitra will share insights that challenge us to think differently and create meaningful change from the inside out. Please help me to welcome Deitra Covington.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thank you, Stacy. That was a good intro. Nice. Okay, well, I'm gonna get the show started. All righty. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Control or delete for your mind. The
Okay,
ultimate.
you want to make it totally big.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I do. Okay, control or delete for your mind. The ultimate subconscious reset. You know, when I thought about doing this particular topic and I thought about title, that control or delete, I don't know how many people are familiar with doing that to cut your computer off when it's stalling or something. Control or delete, cut it off and get you to a state where you can start again. But that's what I thought about in the mind too. You know, when we talk about a subconscious reset, we want to start again. You know, so we want to clear the mind of all the different things that are going on. So Control or Delete was a good title. All righty. Next. Okay. Perspectives to consider. Now, these are some things that really brought me to the state today of doing this presentation. Okay, I listened to Brother Rich, who is a podcaster, and one thing he shared was that we are all radio receivers, meaning that just like an AM, FM radio, are you an AM or FM? Is your mind AM or FM? Now, if you know the difference, some people, you know, it depends on how young you are. You might not even know about AM and FM radio because it's not nothing we talk about. But I'm a 70s baby, so when I think back, when you went to AM, you would get static if you was on a road or news programs, but no music. I couldn't get, you know, R&B or anything. So I would have to go to FM. So you want to think about, you know, am I an AM or FM receiver? Because God is the broadcast tower. Just like with the AM, FM radios, they work because towers were giving them the information. Because the radio didn't do anything, you know, that the information was sent to the radio. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right, I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right group.
It's talking about frequency, right? Is it
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but God is our broadcast tower, so it's good to know that, you know, you're getting good signals from a good source. Let's see, and I want to say that he shared too, and this is Brother Rich, the body is not me. That's what he said, but I feel the same way. I'm more than this body, you know, and sometimes we attach ourselves to what we see, the body, which is good. I mean, it gets us to do what we need to do, but we're more than that and we're deeper than that. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Then I want to mention T'Challa. This is interesting because when we talk about ancestors, this scene in Wakanda came up. If you saw Wakanda, you might remember the scene where he was given a bowl of herb concoction to reach his ancestors. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
I remember seeing it, yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know. But that was for him to reach to his ancestors, find out what does he need to gain power, to be strong, to be the strongest man on the earth, in Wakanda anyway, right? But that was important to reach out to those ancestors, as well as it's important for us to reach out to our ancestors. And we must broadcast from the right frequency to tap into what we desire. So that's another thing he shared on that podcast. Now, Dr. Annette Bosworth, she's a doctor who I've been following for about 3 years. And one thing she talked about this week, and why I put her on here, is reframe your brain. And it's a book by Scott Adams. And he talks about an operating system for your mind. And that really talked to what, the control or delete, we're talking computer systems. Because that's what we are. We can be computer systems with a lot of knowledge we can pull up, right? But we have to reframe our brain if we really want to go in the direction we want. So one thing he said, the usual frame is you are the product of your experiences and genes. However, the reframe is you are the author of your experience, which really is empowering when you think about it. If you feel that you are the author of your experiences. So that really makes me think, what experiences am I authoring? And I want some good experiences, some great, grand experiences. But I am the one that creates that. So does this sound good to anyone?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Author my experiences. I don't want nobody
Right.
to be.
Well, that's good. Let's see here now. Kevin Trudeau, he's an author. But he came across me this week too. I mean, it was interesting because since last Tuesday, after hearing Susan McDonald, we're gonna talk about her too in a little while. All these people came across my path. I'm like, okay. But Kevin Trudeau, he talked about a few things. Of course, you see their beta brainwave and the theta brainwave. But those are important brainwaves. He said that the brain has to broadcast your goal or desire on a frequency that mimics this earth between alpha and theta. And theta is wealth and abundance. They describe that wave. Move things on the physical universe. That happens in theta as well. It reminds me of the Matrix movie. And you might remember in the first one, there was a young boy who was able to move the handle of a spoon, bend it or whatever. But he was able to do that through theta. Does anyone remember that scene?
I remember that. I remember that movie. I was like, just turn your head and just bend over. And it's like, I would like to do that.
I know, right? But we can do it. But I want to just mention that because Kevin Trudeau talks about that theta brainwave, and we have to be in that wave brainwave to do those type of things. Because the beta brainwave is one of slave and poverty. That's the wave. On this wave, people wonder why things are not working for them. So it's different ways we can be on. And I want to talk a little bit more about those further in the presentation. Now, the last person here that I have is Susan McDonald, and she's a nurse, but she is truly the person that since last Tuesday, when she talked on her talk about subconscious resetting, I was moved, totally moved, and I dug a little deeper, and all these people came across my path. And so I said, okay, now this is 3 times, or even 4 actually, that this is mentioned to me. So I need to do something because that's a sign for me. After 3 times, it's like, okay, something's telling me something. But she's a nurse, and in her talk, she came from the super patch perspective, which as she did, I realized it can apply to whatever business, because super patch is a business. Whatever business you're a part of, you can actually still use the things I want to talk about, subconscious resetting. It will help you in your business. And I want to tell her, I want to show gratitude for her being my catalyst for this show. And it's one thing that she said that stood out to me among many other things, but this one truly is that she's a nurse, I said. So she said EEG study clinically shows enhanced delta theta brain synchronization with VTT. Okay, now, if you don't know what VTT is, it's vibrotactile technology. And that's what's used with super patches. So when you put them on your skin, it really resonates with the brain through vibrotactile technology. And so I just really I really like what she shared in that particular talk. Is there any questions thus far? Okay, all right, well, let's go to the next screen. Okay, what is frequency? Now, you've been hearing me talk about frequency, but I think it's good to talk about what it is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Many people use the word frequency in a spiritual or personal development sense rather than a literal scientific one. In that context, tapping into the right frequency usually means aligning your thoughts, emotions, actions, and habits with what you want to create in your life. A part of me wants to read that again because this is heavy, but it's very prominent. And I will read it since that's what I feel. Many people use the word frequency in a spiritual or personal development sense rather than a literal scientific one. In that context, tapping into the right frequency usually means aligning your thoughts, emotions, actions, and habits with what you want to create in your life. And that just speaks back to being the author of your experience. You can create the experience you want. A practical approach looks like this. Get clear on what you want. Be specific. Write down your goal and why it matters to you. Focus on the outcome rather than what you want to avoid. Visualize it regularly. Spend a few minutes each day imagining the goal as already achieved. That's powerful. Yes, it's already achieved. Just think about it being done. Include details, emotions, and sensations. This helps train your brain to recognize opportunities related to your goal. Cultivate the emotions associated with the goal. If you desire abundance, Practice gratitude. If you desire health, focus on vitality and self-care. If you desire relationships, practice love, kindness, and connection. Use theta states intentionally. Since you've asked about theta brainwaves before, many people find meditation, prayer, deep relaxation, or the moments just before sleep or just after waking useful for affirmations and visualizations. These states may help reinforce beliefs and mental rehearsal. Examine limiting beliefs. Be mindful of those. Ask yourself, what belief might be preventing me from accepting or pursuing this desire? Replace helpful beliefs with realistic, empowering ones. Take consistent action. Manifestation is strongest when paired with action. Look for daily steps that move you forward towards the goal, even small ones. Stay open to unexpected paths. That's true. Sometimes opportunities appear differently than expected. True. Focus on the desired result rather than insisting on a specific route. That's very important. A simple daily practice is 5 minutes of gratitude, 5 minutes of visualization, 5 minutes of affirmations, one action step towards your goal. Many spiritual traditions teach that when your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions are aligned, you become more likely to notice opportunities, true, and persist towards your goal, what some people describe as being on the right frequency. And I would like to share something personal in regards to this, what I just shared, everything I just shared. My husband, Terrence, is in my life right now because of me doing just this. I don't know. I can't tell if Razia is on the line. Mama Razia, I can't see who's on. But she would remember about 2 weeks or a month maybe. We all got together and I talked about how I wanted to be married. I wanted to find someone who I could love and who could love me and who could provide for me very nicely. True enough, within that, I was thinking about it probably every day, but I always felt it was done. Whoever it was on his way to me. Of course, I didn't know where it was gonna come from. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know any of that. So anyway, I went to Detroit Unity Temple. That's my church home. Now I went there, and then I went to the seat. I always go to the third row for some strange reason, but lo and behold, there was a gentleman sitting in the third row who I was totally attracted to. I said, "Wow, ain't this nice?" So in church they say hug your neighbor or something. True enough, he hugged me, and I hugged him right back. So it was wonderful, and I was like, "Wow." He was like, lo and behold, after church that day, he was standing outside the door, and he asked me, "Are you taken?" I'm like, no." And so we ended up going out, and that was the beginning of the story. But I just wanted to say the frequency was there. I was doing everything that I mentioned, to do, and it wasn't hard. I didn't have to do anything. He didn't, he was already ready for me, so that made it best, made it good. All right. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, because I'm a nurse that works with people with injured in motor vehicle accidents, and I know the whole beginning from the end, from when they're injured and from when they get attorneys, and their whole process of going from their injuries to meeting their maximum medical recovery, that attorneys are in there somehow, because we see commercials on TV all the time about, if you're injured in a motor vehicle accident, call this attorney, da 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 da.
Right.
But
Right.
these attorneys are out there like looking for people who are injured in motor vehicle accidents. And a lot of attorneys, not all of them, but some of the attorneys are out there to make money off of you in a way that you don't understand how they're making money off of you. And sometimes they rip you off. And so
Yeah.
me knowing that sometimes these attorneys sign people up when they don't really need them at the time. They don't really need them unless the insurance company is not paying for it. And so I developed a dislike for some attorneys. And then I decided that I was going to be a legal nurse consultant.
Oh,
and I
okay.
went through the whole process. I went through the class and everything. And, I even got a job from a attorney that I really, this is crazy. I got my first job from the attorney that I did not like because of
Oh my.
his frequency, the way all he thought about was getting that money. It wasn't a concern about the client getting better and meeting their maximum medical recovery.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I got my first one from an attorney that, I had some, back and forth with regarding a client that was injured.
Okay.
And so when I thought about it, I'm almost done. When I thought about it, I said, wow, going into legal nurse consulting is not really a field that I want to be in, because the frequency that I'm carrying about my attitude that I have about these attorneys is not good. So that made me make a decision that legal nurse consulting wasn't for me, because
at least you gave it a
frequency that I
try.
was carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you gave it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, now thank you, Stacy, for sharing. I want to acknowledge you. But we have core principles. Okay, awareness first. Notice recurring thoughts, emotional triggers, or self-sabotaging behaviors. These are things that I should be aware of. Just notice my thoughts and what's going on with me. Repetition, emotion, and imagery. That's supposed to have a Y there. Okay. The subconscious learns through these, not logic alone. And sometimes we think, we can logically gain information or whatever. But we can do repetition, emotion, and imagery. The subconscious will get it. Relaxed states. Techniques work best in alpha or theta brainwave states. That is before sleep, meditation, and hypnosis. These are different ways you can get into a relaxed state. And consistency, that's a big word, because it seems like that's important through a lot of things. You got to be consistent. Changes often take weeks to months. That is 21 to 66 days for habit formation, longer for deep beliefs. It's interesting. I do remember this, that 21 days would always be the time frame for habits to change. Does anyone have any experience in understanding, how habits can change?
Consistency is the only cheat code. You can get into consistency. Yeah, you can change your habits, definitely.
Yes. And sometimes we have habits, that need to be changed.
And
I know I did.
they also have, Sister Deitra, they also have, do the 40 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 40 days. I know the church that I was in, we'd go on we went on so many fasts. She didn't have to give us a warning.
Okay.
We could just go on a fast. So we did, do the 40-day fast.
Okay.
Or the Daniel, they call it the Daniel
Yes, the
fast.
Daniel fast. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And fasting is always, you seek the Holy Spirit about what type of fast, because some things is just fasting from a particular habit or
Yeah.
a particular thing, that like no TV for 21
Yeah.
days and things like that, or exercising to but the challenge is not to go right back to what you were doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, the 40-day fast. Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that. That's right, though. Okay, there are some common step-by-step methods. Identify limiting beliefs. Like journal prompts help. Like, what do I believe about money, success, relationships, or self-worth? Or why do I keep doing such and such? Or, X. Challenge the questions with evidence, that is, counter examples from your life. So those are some things you can ask yourself. Like, for instance, what do I believe about money, success, and relationships? Because we have some thoughts about it. Because over the years, we developed, ways of believing on some of this stuff. Okay, now we want to replace with empowering ones. Create positive opposites. That is, I'm not good enough. Or opposite, I am capable and worthy. Support with real past evidence. So those are some examples that you can do. And maybe we have done some things like this. And if you want to share, that would be nice. Have anyone did any identifying limiting beliefs or replacing with empowering ones?
Are you referring to like affirmations or catching yourself when you say something to yourself and realize
But
like, oh,
that could be a limiting belief. Yeah, it could be.
well, I say that because it's very common that when you go to do something out of habit, that's
Uh-huh.
how we react. And so I know for me with this identity switch, it's a constant no, you could do this. It's not
Uh-huh.
difficult. It's like, how does this always happen to me? No, it's not happening to you.
Right.
And on and on and on. So it's for me, it is becoming a constant replacement of words and
Yeah.
thought, primarily because I guess I just wasn't aware that I was even having them, I guess, to begin with, until I
Right.
started going through this shift with Stanicia. And so
Okay.
now it's amazing. You know how when you go to think about buying a car and it's a white, whatever, Mercedes, and then
Right.
all of a
Right.
sudden every car you see is a white Mercedes.
Yes.
Well, it's
Yes.
like
Yes.
once you start doing this awareness of what your thoughts are, you start seeing everybody that has these same type of speeches or, posts
Yep. That's
about,
true.
you know, um, your identity. They're all interrelated, your frequency. It's like, this isn't new. this,
Exactly.
thing, this has been going on a long time. It's new to me,
Right.
but I will say this, that it is for me at least, it's a habit in development because we
Uh-huh.
are creatures of habit.
We
And
are.
we go back in Landmark, we refer to it as the already always. It's already
Okay.
always the same way, and such that you don't even notice that that's what it is. That's because it's always that way. And it isn't
Exactly.
until you try to interrupt the shift of what it is that you're thinking. So the best way I can put it is that I actually think about what I'm thinking.
Oh,
And,
good. That's a
and
good thing.
when I catch the thought being like, man, you're not going to be on time. Well, why?
Right.
I have to do this. And then it opens up another Pandora's box of, hmm, how's your planning for your time? Huh. Are
Mm.
you planning for the unseen? Traffic, an accident,
Right.
construction. Okay, are you planning to make sure you have enough time to exercise, get up, eat? So, since I've been retired, I'm actually planning my day more than I did when I was working.
We're good. We're good.
And that's primarily because the already always way was get up, go to work, get up, go to work, do what there is to
Right.
do, make it happen, keep it going.
Right.
And
Well,
that's
thank you
that.
for sharing. Oh, that's good talk. Okay, the next point is use repetition, auto suggestion, affirmations. I think this speaks more to what you were sharing. Affirmation, repeat them daily, especially while looking in the mirror or in a calm state. Combine with emotion and visualization. So it's not enough just to say them, but you got to feel some of the stuff deep inside. If you say, I am great or I am beautiful, feel that. Feel that like, oh, just beauty all around me. Or I'm great, I'm strong, I'm smart, whatever. But you can feel that inside. And doing it in a mirror, you can look at yourself feeling that. Because you will smile. You're going to smile or something or have a grimace that says, oh, I got this, you know. Before sleep and upon waking up, these are prime windows when the conscious mind is less active. Listen to recordings of new beliefs or review goals. Sometimes we can listen to things that can help us spur us in the right direction. So that's nice. Visualization. Vividly imagine success as it's happening now, as if it's happening now. That's wonderful. Oh my goodness. I remember visualizing me being married. I mean, the whole white dress and whatever, however I want to dress to get married. The second time around, mind you. But I visualized that. And I said, oh, my husband waiting for me. He coming my way. I better get myself together. And true enough, I visualized all of it, you know. Um, and it happened a little different. That's the only thing I do realize. Don't worry about the outcome. Just go through the steps. So I went through the steps and the outcome happened. I wasn't attached to it. It was like, whatever way it comes, it's going to come. So, all right.
Stacy,
Okay.
your hand is up.
Oh, hey, thank you, Queen, because I can't see the people out on the thing. Okay, please speak.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the first step where you were talking about limited beliefs, and I may have shared this before. Back in 2019, I was with Lisa Nichols and her group. I flew out to California, and we were doing this exercise on
Uh-huh.
limited beliefs. And one of my limited beliefs was, "You're ugly, you're fat, you're ugly, and everybody knows it."
Okay.
And I had to change that limited belief to, I'm at my goal weight and I'm beautiful and I know it. And I had to
Yes,
continually say that to myself in the morning and when I went to sleep, just to establish that limited belief, to change that limited belief to a positive belief. But it does work.
it does work, truly. And I'm glad you did it because you are beautiful. I'm glad you know it.
Thank you.
Okay, and a daily routine. Thank you for sharing, Stacy. In the morning I'm saying morning because that's just the way it's written here. 5 to 10 minutes intention setting, mirror affirmations, and visualizations when you get up. And a lot of times we get in front of the mirror and, when we get up, I mean, it's a good time to uh, say some affirmations then, visualize then, and set some intentions for your day. That would be wonderful. Oh, and just pay attention to how it manifests. And during the day, mindfulness to catch old patterns and replace with new responses. Because during the day, many things can happen to myself And it's good. It could be old patterns. Things happen, and if I can address them in a different way than I ever have. And it's interesting, as I talk about this, is because when you change, the other people around you change, and I found that to be the case too. If something happens that used to happen, I'm like, that's old. I ain't like it then. I don't like it now, and I have a new response, and I do. And then the person is like, they look at me like, give me a hug or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. And then in the evening, you want to review your wins and gratitude. So I used to do gratitude, thank yous every night, with my children. So in the evening, um, and sometimes you can listen to, like I said before, reprogramming audio while falling asleep. I don't know. Did anybody do any of these things thus far?
Yes. Can you hear me? I'm on my phone, so I can't put my hand up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Um, I talked to Rev last night,
Uh-huh.
and she told me that they're doing like a fast of negative, not saying anything negative, thinking anything negative. If they think of something negative, you know,
Okay.
no, start thinking of something else. That's what their fast is. I think it was going to be 30 days or something like that. But I told her, I said, that's so easy because y'all have heard me say this before that my whole job is to
Uh-huh.
feel good and be happy every day. Every day. That's
Cool.
the goal. Every day. Not
Yeah,
some days,
beautiful.
every day. Do I fall short sometimes? Yeah, I do. But it's so easy for when those negative things come out for me to switch it because it's okay to feel it, own it. I do allow myself to do that. But I
Uh-huh.
know the importance of you can't stay there. Like you
Right.
can't stay in that negative space. You got to hurry up, own it, get it, and then hurry up and get out of it because it's always a choice.
Yes.
You can have something terrible or bad happen. It's a choice to let that ruin your whole day, or it's a choice not to ruin your whole day. It's always a
Good
choice.
talk.
I choose
Amen.
not to
Amen.
never let that ruin my whole day. The next
I'm
thing I
ready
want to
for
talk about that's been really powerful, and I need to do it again because I got a different phone, is to when you doing your affirmations, record
uh-huh.
it. Record
Yes.
you saying your affirmations, and then when you sleeping at night,
Wow.
play it on, put it on, like put your headphones on and just listen. Cause I sometimes I listen to my smart TV and I put in my affirmations and I sleep with it because your subconscious mind is always open and it's alert. So why not hear your own voice? So I would
Okay.
say my own voice and then repeat over and over and over and over again that you just say your affirmation. So it's very, very powerful to hear your own voice when you're resting.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you, Lakeisha. That was very well said.
Powerful.
Yes. All right. What does science say about all of this? Okay. Neuroplasticity confirms the brain can rewire at any age through focused attention, deliberate practice, and repetition. Cognitive behavioral therapy elements have strong evidence. Techniques like hypnosis and visualization show promise in studies for habit change and performance. Results may vary by individual. Deeper trauma may need professional help, a therapist or hypnotherapist. So sometimes you need a little help if it's really deep trauma. Now we have some caveats. Avoid pseudoscience over promises. That is instant manifestation. You can do this and something manifests right away. Sustainable change requires action in the real world alongside inner work. If patterns involve mental health issues, consult a qualified professional. Start small, track progress, and be patient. Many report breakthroughs after consistent practice for 30 or more days. So that's just something to think about. But science is in agreement with what we're doing now, what I've been talking about. And that's good to know, especially when people, when others want the science to be in line with what we're talking about. So, okay. Now this particular excerpt is about neuroplasticity, techniques for habit change. All right. What are the best neuroplasticity techniques for breaking deeply ingrained daily habits? And some of us might have, let me speak for myself. Do I have any daily habits that I need to break? I really have to think about that one. Breaking a deeply ingrained daily habit isn't just a test of willpower. It is a literal remodeling project of your brain. Let me say that again, because some others might have deeply ingrained daily habits. Breaking a deeply ingrained daily habit isn't just a test of willpower. It is a literal remodeling project for your brain. When you repeat a behavior daily, your brain builds a highly efficient, insulated neural pathway, a process called myelination. Think of it like a well-paved 4-lane highway. Trying to stop that habit by just saying, don't do it. It's like putting up a tiny cardboard stop sign on that highway. Your brain will coast right past it. So it's going to take a little bit more than just saying, no, stop. Even though you're trying to do something, but to actually break the habit, you have to use neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to recognize itself, to build a completely new highway while letting the old one overgrow with weeds. Here are the most effective science-based techniques to do exactly that. Okay, the first thing is interrupt the cue. Habits rely heavily on context-dependent memory. Your brain associates specific environments, times of day, or emotional states with the habit. That's interesting to take note of. Some of us have habits, and our brain associates specific environment because you only do certain things when you're certain places around certain people, but during the time of a day or emotional states with the habit. So we got to be observant with what we're doing and what we're thinking and where we're thinking it and where we're thinking it, because the place, the time, it can affect that habit. If you always do the habit in a specific chair at 4:00 p.m., that chair and that time are the physical triggers. Because some of us might have a habit we only do in a certain place at a certain time. That's it. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
Yeah, at a certain place, I'm in my recliner chair watching TV in the evening. So yeah, I definitely have some habits that I do all the time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too. I'm sure I do. I'm trying to remember. Okay, the next thing is
well, we are equated to the habit and conditioning and thought pattern.
Is that Calvin?
Yeah, I was in the car. I was trying to chime in when I'm being rough. And it does take a lot of work to get out of that pattern, a condition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something we can do though.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges of people who smoke is that
Uh-huh.
if they go to a club and they drink, it's like, okay, you drink, you smoke, you have to like stop a whole bunch of things in order
Right.
to stop that. Or if it's always a habit that, after I eat, I go out and I smoke a cigarette.
Right.
And, well, you still have to eat. So you have to you
Right.
have to, do something else. You replace it with something. That's one of the things is replacing it. You can't, some things you just can't stop. You have to
Yeah.
replace it with
Place it.
something different, until you're strong enough that it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. This
Mhm.
by you saying that, Queen, it reminds me of when I love jazz music, right? I would go to a live jazz concert with anybody, anytime, it don't matter.
Mhm.
So anyway, I met this guy. He actually was a bodybuilder. I mean, very handsome, strong, all that good stuff, right? Well, anyway, he said, "What you want to do?" I said, "Let's go to a jazz club." True enough, the first thing he wanted to do was go get some wine. I said, "I don't even like wine," but he felt that that was something you do when you go to, listen to jazz. You drink some wine. And he
Mhm.
gave me some, and I was like, I don't like this, but I tried it just because I'm trying to impress this guy. We were in 20s. Ain't that crazy? I mean, that was years ago, truly years ago.
Mhm.
But that was a case where somebody felt you had to do something to go to a jazz club, drink some wine. Okay, great. He probably still does it to this day. I'm sure he does. Okay, let's see. The next thing is stimulate neuroplasticity with novelty, with something new. Your brain is highly sensitive to novelty, something new. When you experience something new, your brain releases dopamine, and they act like fertilizers for the brain, making it incredibly receptive to building new neural connections. So that's one way we get the brain to go along with something new, because it's going to get some good stuff too. So, all right, the if then action script. Uh, you cannot simply delete a neural pathway. You have to divert it. If you try to stop a behavior, your brain is left with an empty space in this loop, creating friction and anxiety. So it's important. I think, Queen, you said it. We have to bring something in. You just can't take something away. Bring something in to replace it. That's good. It doesn't have to be something bad or another habit. No. Well, a good habit is good, but just want to bring something else in. All right, let's go down to the next. Leverage the pulse behavior dopamine dip. Every habit yields a reward, which makes sense. That's why we do it all the time, which releases dopamine. Right after that dopamine peak, your brain experiences a sharp dopamine dip below your baseline level, which actually drives a craving to repeat the behavior or feel restless. Isn't that something? You want to do it again. Let me do it again. Okay, mental rehearsal. Your brain doesn't completely distinguish between a vividly imagined action and a physical action. Neuroimaging shows that identical brain regions light up whether you are actually doing a task or just visualizing it in high detail. Isn't that something? We can actually visualize it and the body feels like it's really happening. All right. Now we have beta brain waves and theta brain waves. I'm gonna go through this a little bit here with us. Create problem solving. When you're deeply relaxed, keep a notebook nearby and write down ideas, business concepts, goals, or solutions to problems. Many people find that insights come more easily during this state. And it's during theta. And then we have visualization. Theta states are often used for visualizing health goals. Nice. Practicing positive habits, rehearsing success in business or personal goals, mental imagery for sports or performance. The relaxed, focused state can make visualization feel more vivid. Meditation and prayer. A simple method. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, breathe slowly for 5 to 10 minutes. Focus on a word, prayer, or your breath. Allow thoughts to pass without following them. Just let them come through. I made that a habit. Even a few minutes of meditation can increase theta activity and promote a calm, alert state. Learning and memory. Theta rhythms are linked to memory formation and consolidation. Reviewing important information before meditation or before sleep may help your brain process and store it more effectively. That's nice to know. Accessing theta naturally. Many people either enter theta, and that's where we want to be. I don't know if you've really been following me, but theta is where we want to be. Many people enter theta just before falling asleep, just after waking up, during deep meditation, during quiet daydreaming, during repetitive activities as walking and gentle exercise. A simple daily theta routine is wake up 15 minutes earlier, sit quietly with eyes closed, take slow breaths, visualize your goals. Somebody walked through the house, sorry, y'all. Visualize your goals as already accomplished. That's key. You know, like I said, when I was thinking about getting married and everything like that, relationship wise, I always assumed it was done. He was on his way. I didn't have to do anything but be a magnet to draw him to me. And that's how it happened. Write down any ideas or impressions afterwards. For someone focused on improving health, gaining healthy weight, and maintaining ketosis, that's my for me. This can be a good time to visualize your ideal body weight, energy level, and daily habits while in a calm, focused state. Keep in mind that theta brainwaves are a natural brain activity pattern, not a magical state. The most useful approach is to use the relaxed, focused mindset for meditation, reflection, creativity, learning, and goal visualization. Is anyone getting any help from this conversation?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
I am. I'm driving, but I'm trying to pay attention. I'm focused. I want to interject when I can. Um, the thing about it is that how we think affects our body as well. And
Yeah,
really, we have been properly informed and trained of the importance of being mindful of our thoughts at all times, because your
right.
body is responding to the narrative, whether you verbalize it or not. Because your body has a chemical response based upon your thought pattern that affects your mood. So,
Yeah,
like you said, if your thought pattern can make you sick, it can also make you well.
that's true. Well, thank you, Calvin, for sharing that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we got one last. Okay, what are the benefits of subconscious resetting? And some of, no, I need to really understand how this benefits me. because I'm really excited about doing this too. You know, I've done it, like I said, in other ways, but it's other ways I want to try it. Okay, so as we talk about the benefits, we got to be mindful. The term subconscious reset isn't a strict medical diagnosis, but it's a great way to describe shifting your brain out of a chronic fight or flight survival state and into a rest and digest state. And that's very calm. Think of your subconscious mind like a computer background program. It's constantly running, processing trillions of bits of information, managing your heartbeat, and scanning for threats based on your past experiences. When you do a reset, you are essentially updating that background software so it stops running old, stressful loops. Here is why that shift is so physically and mentally healthy. It lowers chronic cortisol levels. It rewires neural pathways. It restores autonomic nervous system balance. And it improves metabolic function and sleep. So those are some great benefits of resetting the subconscious. So it'd be nice if everyone take a little time, or it'd be nice if I take time, continuous time of resetting my subconscious. Because it's not hard as we've seen and we've read or heard. It's not a hard thing to do. So, but I wish everyone the best at doing this. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I need to get out of here though. I mean, make sure I can, because I want to see you before I go, Baba.
Joe Dispenza does a great job of talking about this. He has books, but he also has material on YouTube.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I have a lot of books that deal with this very topic. The subconscious mind is where the autonomic system is. Our body functions on its own volition. But the thing about it, when we program to think about certain things, it goes to the subconscious mind, and then we have to be more conscious of everything that we do to make sure we're doing the right thing for us to the wrong thing.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else have any last comment?
Deitra, all you have to do is just hit stop share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. One of the things that I learned is that I think I learned this, discovered this when I was at Landmark and some other things, but that like when you think of something or someone maybe prophesies to you or you had a bad dream, that was what it was. You have a really bad dream and stuff, and it's kind of scary. Or even if somebody prophesies to you and you don't like what the prophecy is, or like I said, and especially if you have a bad dream and you don't like that, and you feel the pain of it and stuff, that doesn't mean like your body, your mind does not know that it was fake.
Right, exactly.
You get to choose. And so when something happens or somebody says something about my future or I just say, I've already felt that. I've already experienced that.
Okay.
And I don't choose to experience it again. Because the universe does not know, your body does not know that it was fake.
Right.
And then you get to say, okay, all right, so yeah, so I use that all the time. Okay, that's not what I want. I don't like. I've already felt it. I've already cried. There was something on the internet that was saying that a friend of mine had died.
Yeah.
And so I cried, you know. And so when I found out that it was not true, I told her. And
Wow.
I said, so I've already cried, so I don't have to cry no more.
No more, no more, right.
I've already cried. So that's something that when we are experiencing something that it you've already felt it, and the universe does not know, your body doesn't know, you really felt that. And so you can
Right.
choose that, okay, I'm complete with that. I don't have to go there anymore. And something else came up in my life from something I did when I was a child. I never thought about it. And I was like, where did that come from? And why did I even do that? Why?
Right.
What was that? It was like, what was that about? And
Right.
once I saw it, and it's like, okay, I don't even remember what it was. And
Mm.
and I think about when they say that when you die, your entire life, every second of it comes,
Yeah,
flash.
comes fast.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
flashes. So
Yeah.
it's not for you to stay there. It's okay, okay, all right, all right, all right. Well, I can make a different choice, and I get to choose in every second how my life is going to be.
That's right. You're the author of it. That's right.
Yeah, more than we really know.
But thank you, Queen. Thank you
Good
so much.
topic. Good topic, Deitra. Good show. Good.
But
It
thank
is.
you. Well, I
Thank you,
thank you
Deidre.
all for being. Oh, thank you, thank you. But
Thank you.
I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Because I know some new folks are here. I just see the names, of course, and I truly appreciate them being here. But we are on the hour, and I like to start on time and end on time. So, if there are no questions or comments, I will definitely wish you every wellness and every goodness for your day.
Thank you, Deitra. The show is very enlightening. I'm glad I tuned in, and I will be in next week
Oh,
also.
that's my friend from New Jersey. Hi, honey.
How are
Oh.
you? Good.
Yeah, that's
Welcome.
Kay. Okay, well, you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
After we give ourselves a hug.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness, where's my co-host? Is she here? Let's hug ourselves because we love ourselves. So let's hug ourselves and hug the world because the world needs some love too. And sprinkle all that goodness down. And Lorraine, I'm loving that blouse. You know that the
Oh,
sweater or whatever.
my wake, pray, slay. Yeah.
Right,
It's called wake, pray, and slay your thoughts, right?
right.
And those
Okay.
who are new, we have Madam Finance tomorrow, and it's wealth building, finance, and then
Right.
Friday and Saturday, we are going to take a break because many of us will be out of town. So enjoy yourself on Thursday and Friday of this week, and we will resume next week. Have a wonderful and purposeful day, and just spread love. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great one.